What's up, guys? My name is Enrique Lopez. I'm making this video. It took me many years to build up the courage to make this video. The reason why I want to make this video is because to share the vision that I have of being a divine hand. And what does the divine hand mean to me? A lot of my friends, my co-workers have always told me, hey, make a video for that leaders, for those supervisors, for those managers to become better managers, better leaders, and so I want to ask you guys, or ask yourself, what type of leader are you? Are you a positive leader? Are you a negative leader? And then what, if you're a negative leader, what are you doing to become a positive leader? And I want to share with you guys, other than metrics, other than all these complicated things that as a supervisor, as a manager, the things that you have to do to fulfill your role, but there's a lot of hidden things that we're evaluated to be successful that metrics and all that don't show. And that's what I want to show you guys, what has made me successful and what's made me different from a lot of my supervisors, from a lot of managers that I've worked with. I've never forgotten who I am, where I came from. I come from South Central Los Angeles, like I said, and I was that hourly worker that was super working day in, day out, coming in at 3 a.m, staying in late, staying out, just doing the most for it. And I was always waiting for my lead, to always give me a raise, to always value me, to always, at least give me that tap, saying, you know what, hey, good job, Enrique, here's a soda. And, I was always seeking approval or just to be valued, recognized, and I want to share with you guys how important that is for your leadership team, or for your hourly workers, because your supervisors, your managers, yeah, they're on top of the food chain. We just get chewed up a little bit more than the rest of the guys. But the important people is the people, your foundation, which is your hourly worker. Showing that you care about them. We're humans, and when you show them that generally you care for them, that's gonna boost up your production, your relationship with them, the confidence, the trust that you have. Because remember, teamwork is not just about, oh, my guy just works with me, or he's just gonna help me use the buddy system to lift the part or package a job or whatever it is that your profession is. Teamwork to me is trust. Having that trust from employee to employee to lead to supervisor, or however your chain of command is. That to me is real teamwork. And that's why I ask you guys, what type of leader are you? Are you influential? Are you that supervisor that team will go on that Sunday night afternoon when you call them at the last minute, hey, can you come in for that extra, I need this hot job, can you do the extra mile for me? Are you that type of supervisor? Are you that type of manager? Or are you that type of supervisor or manager that you belittle them, or indirectly your subconscious you're belittling them because you got a little raise, or you feel like you're superior to your hourly worker because you know more, you've been doing your profession for a longer time, you think you're superior than them. Think about that. Are you doing that subconsciously? And how is that impacting you negatively? Sometimes we don't know, but we're walking in our floor in our shop, and we're walking and somebody's probably underperforming, and we go to them and tell them, hey, hurry up, what's wrong with you? And sometimes we even use foul language, or we just belittle them. And I've seen other supervisors in my past companies that will say, are you stupid? What's wrong with you? And just things like that. So remember, we're humans. So go back to when you were an hourly employee. If your supervisor was belittling you and asking for a favor, like we call, but favors in production is called expedite. But if you're asking your hourly employee, hey, can you help me do this? But yesterday you belittled them, you didn't do what you were supposed to on supporting them, on giving them the tools, the equipment that they need. You were just harassing them, or telling them, oh, you're slow, but you didn't provide the proper training, the proper support to help them. They didn't feel like you care for them. Let's call it for what it is. the person's not gonna go and up and beyond to make you successful, because our hourly employees is a reflection of management. And if an hourly employee doesn't feel like you're backing them up and supporting them and valuing them, they're not gonna do the extra mile for you. I wouldn't. And ask yourselves that. Are you doing that subconsciously? Are you doing that on a daily basis? Have you been doing it for a week, 2 weeks, a month, years from it? You know, my father has suffered from that for years. That he's a professional aviation painter, and all through his life he's always been called names that you suck. And I've worked with him, and you know, when everybody averages 10, 15 jobs, my father, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, put him in a pedestal, but he was averaging 40, 50 jobs and half the time of most guys. But his supervisor never valued him. His managers never valued him. Did they ever give him a soda, a tap? Like I said, a tap on the back. You know, that makes the difference. I'm telling you, that's gonna boost up your metrics, your numbers, your flex reports. That's sort of things that you don't see. That you as a leader, it's your responsibility to have everybody back you up for that common goal. If you have a sales plan of $10,000, $15,000, $200,000, $500,000, whatever your sales plan is on a daily basis, you know, just try it. Go to every department, shake their hands. You know what? Make them feel like you really care for them. And believe me, your numbers are gonna go up. The people are gonna sweat for you. They're gonna wanna work because you are part of their team. They feel like, oh, this company cares for me. And if the company doesn't, well, you're a reflection of the company. You are the company. Being in a management role, you are the company. So to me, and don't get me wrong, you know, you might be a leader that you just started being a lead or in a leadership position, and you don't know how to win your team. You know, they have to trust you. I remember me, when I first became a lead, I was just a hard worker. And they're like, oh, here you go. And this is another message, a vision that I have, and a message that I'm giving you guys. That in most companies, when you become a supervisor or a lead, they just throw you in there. You know, there's not really a school or a process to make you successful in being a supervisor or a manager. You pretty much just learn as you go, as you mess up, as you know. That's pretty much how you learn to be successful in management. You get stressed out, you're pushing people, and you shouldn't be pushing people. You should be pushing your product or whatever is it that you're doing. But it's more your product. You know, the way you push people, as we could say, because we have to do it, is, you know, just motivate them. Be that motivation. You know, it's easy to say, lift that box up and put it over here. But if you tell them, try this. Hey, what can we do? I'm including myself too. What can we do to get that job or that part to point A to point B? That's supporting your team. They feel supported, and next thing you know, they start using the buddy system. They start working safe. Numbers start going up. So it's like, I'm telling you guys, I've been managing for 10 years, and this is like the key thing that's making me successful and having being influential. We're all positive role models, or we're all role models, whether we're negative role models or whether we're positive. It's up to you to decide what type of role model you are, and your actions are pretty much gonna drive that. But like I was telling you guys, that when I first became a lead, I was just thrown. You know, I was just thrown. Be a lead, push the guys. There's 5 guys there, just tell them what to do, and I didn't know how. And what that happened is that I made 50 cents difference or $1 difference, $2 difference from from my coworker, and I thought I was better than him. You know, we used to eat burgers and tacos in my lunchtime. We used to have breaks together, and all of a sudden, I forgot about that. I forgot that that's the person that even taught me that skill in that department, and I forgot about him. I used to walk, and you know what? I'm better than everybody else. Nobody's up in my level. I was ignorant. You know, I forgot to be humble. And I even went like that for 3-6 months. And I pushed myself. You can only go so far by yourself. I became even a supervisor, a production supervisor. You know, thanks to Raul Murgia, that he saw true talent in me, and that he took me under his wing, and he pushed me. And when I became a supervisor, I was just pushing people, pushing product. That's all I cared about. And I forgot about them. And And what I mean by I forgot about them is, like I said, I didn't even eat a taco with them. I didn't even shake their hand. I didn't say hello to them. I just thought I was superior than them. And then my numbers started dropping. And I remember that I was just reflecting, and I had like a heart, I just started like crying. I'm like, why is it that I'm failing? What is it that I need to do? What book do I have to read? And nobody was telling me anything, like I said, because you're just thrown to be a supervisor or a lead. And then I remember that Raul told me, like, you know what, you forgot to be humble. Look at the people. They don't want to sweat for you. Sometimes I don't even want to work with you. And look at the people. They're calling out sick. They're pretending they're being late. They're pretending to be sick. Why? Because they don't want to be coming to you. They don't want to be working with you. And that's what, like, harassment. And I'm talking to those supervisors that are negative, that you're always bullying people. They don't even want to come in. That's why there's so many lawsuits. There's all this crazy stuff going on in California. Not even just in California, all over the world, And I'm telling you guys, don't harass people, make them trust you, win them, and work with them. And I started really reflecting on that. I'm like, you know what? I am messing up on that. People don't want to work for me. So you know what I did? And it was embarrassing, but it made me a better person. I went to each one of the guys. And I think at that time I was supervising maybe about 85 to 100 people. And I shook each one of their hands. And generally I told them, you know what? I messed up. What was the problem? Because you have to admit what's your problem, or at least reflect and know why. What's your problem? Excuse me. And I went and I told them, you know what? Each one of them, my ego, it went up. I thought I was better than you. Next thing you know, we brushed it off. Next month hit, we went up 12%. 12% in 1 month. And that was a company that we were doing about, I think at that time was like 2.2 mil, 2.5 million. 12% of that is significant. And the only thing that I did was just value every person. Treat them with respect. Like they need, you owe it to them. Every person here and out there, you owe it to them. You have to give them respect. You can't just treat somebody, they gotta treat you because you're a supervisor, they gotta treat you a certain way, but you could treat them however you want. No, it doesn't cut that way. First, as a supervisor, you show how to be treated, and then they'll treat you first. You lead by example. That's what it is to be a supervisor. That's what it is to be a leader. So then again, ask yourself that same question that I asked you at the beginning. What type of leader are you? Are you positive? Or are you negative? If you're a positive leader, read books, find ways, look at videos, look at YouTube. There's millions of ways how to continue to grow. If you're a negative leader, it's time to change, because you're hurting a lot of people that they have families that depend on them, and you're harassing them, or you're making it worse for them instead of you being supportive to them to make them feel like they could succeed in their workplace. No, you're harassing them, calling them dumb, calling them stupid, you're sluggish, you're lethargic. All these negative, toxic environments that we create in our workplace. The world's already toxic or bad as it is. In South Central, it's not a very easy environment to grow in. You have drugs, you have gang violence, and my father was an alcoholic. Getting beat up by him, and as growing up, it's not hard. And then you grow up, you're teenagers, you rebel, then you get a job. And in the workplace, imagine you're at home and your environment is already negative, toxic, and you go to your workplace to feed your family or to make a living, and it's toxic there. You get out of there to get a break, and you go home, which should be your paradise, your area of just relaxing. What is it? Toxic as well. No. So supervisors, leaders, I'm reaching out to you guys. And if you're not a leader, or you think that you're not, well, let me tell you this, you are. Because everybody, like I said, everybody's a role model. Whether you know it or you're not. You're a positive role model or you're a negative role model. It's up to you to decide. And I mean it with all my heart. It's being a divine hand. You cannot, if you're gonna be a positive role model, you can't turn the other way and say you're not gonna help a person. You're not gonna help a fellow homeless person in the street, or in your workplace or anything. I'm tying this video just for your workplace, and sharing my vision of what I think that the world needs more. And I'm tackling first a workplace because we spend the majority of our time in our workplace. We spend 8 minimum, 8 hours, 10 hours, and some of us like me, I'm here 12 hours. I come in at 1:30, I'm out at 2, 3 in the morning. And I'm reaching out to you guys, man. I'm reaching out to all the people. Like, be a divine hand. Help the environment. Help your environment change and help yourself change. Be a positive role model. And believe me, like, I guarantee you, the people will start working for you. They'll start going that extra mile, because that's what we need. We need we need overachievers. We need people that want to go the extra mile, But it all begins with you, with me. It all began with me first, if I want to be a positive role model or not. So yeah, guys, sorry if I took too long about this video. I've been hesitating with this video for about, I want to say, a year or 2 years. Nah, maybe like 3 years. I've been a manager for about 4 or 5 companies, in this 10 years. And every company that I've been, I've always been challenged and, pay increase and all the good benefits and all that. But I've always gone for that challenge, that they're going to push me to become a better leader, And I had a soft heart, I've had, my blessing, I could say, what's made me successful too, is that a lot of people come to me. As a supervisor, a lot of people vent to you, or they talk smack, you could say. And it's you, how you decide you're in control of your actions. It's how you decide how to, let's say, for example, the best way to say is just give you a scenario. I had a guy coming in late, and he was underperforming. So he come in late, he was underperforming, and when a week like that, on a daily basis, I will tell him, look at your log, you're underperforming. Do you need any of the tools? Do you need more coaching? Do you need more training? What am I supposed to do to help you as your lead, providing good training, or what's going on? Everything was fine. That's the employee will always say, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. A week went by, and I told him, and I set him some expectations, some realistic expectations. I didn't tell him, you have to do 100 jobs. No, he was doing an average of 3 to 4 jobs, and I told him, what? I think 7 or 10, it's average. Everybody does about 20, 25. So the thing is, I created an improvement plan, something that I could measure. And what happened with him is that the second week, he continued the same way. And he didn't show up late no more, but he was still underperforming. And the guy was he was not drama. He didn't give anybody pushback or anything like that. He had a good attitude. So I went out my way. You have to be a master of one-on-one, coaching your people. That's being a leader. You have to be duplication. And I went to the guy and I told him, hey, what's going on? I see that, you look a little depressed, and I just want you to hear, something tells me to let you know this. I'm your friend. Now, I'm not your supervisor. I'm your friend. And I actually care about you. I care about everybody here. So whenever you want to talk and you want a real advice, I'll give you that time. Immediately, the guy looked at me. He started crying. And that's what's going on. I gave him a little minute, to process that. And I'm like, what's going on? What is it that I could do? Maybe if I have to loan you, $20, I'll do it. I've done that countless times. And he just told me, how, we work Saturdays and we work a lot of overtime and it's mandatory. Yeah. Well, you know what? My wife told me that, because I don't give her any time, that she wants to break up with me and it's taking a toll on her. I could have easily said, you know what? I don't care. It is what it is. The company saying you better work, the 10 hours. I need you for my production, etc. I could have been that hard person, or by the book. How if you're a real leader and you've been a veteran and being a manager, you know what I'm talking about when I say, by the book. It's like a professional slang, I could say, that we use. But no, I remember to be humble. I remember to be a divine hand. And I told him, you know what? I want you to go home, talk to your wife, and tell her this. that I still need you on Saturdays. I still need you to perform here. But I'm willing to honor and respect that and do the best that I can to, you know what, how about this? At least one Saturday out the month, I'll honor you and your family, and I'll give you that Saturday off. I won't make it mandatory for you. He wiped his tears. He said, you know, you'll do that for me? I'm like, yeah. Like I said, I'm here. I'm just support. I'm here to make you successful. So he went home, and the next day, he immediately came back. He was smiling. He was happy. He said, you won't believe. I told my wife, and she said she accepted it. She agrees with it. She got so excited like a little girl, like if we were dating again. She's like, one Saturday for real, you'll give it to me? She got happy. You know what? It kind of, wanted me to make. I kind of wanted to tear up, but I had to be that tough guy. I did it. So I'm like, you know what? So Saturdays you gotta work. We made a deal, me and him. Long story short, that guy right now averages about 25 to 30 jobs. He's one of my top producers. You see what I mean, guys? The little things, the power that you have, the things that we say, the things that we do, the way that we support one another makes us or breaks us. So that's my vision. My vision is to be a divine hand, to be a positive leader. And if you're a negative leader, that's okay. And if you want to be from a negative to a positive leader, you know what? And let's begin this journey. And this is my first video. Like I said, guys, it took me a long time to build up the courage to make this video. Please subscribe if you like this video, this message. Give a like. And please, you know what? I really mean it with all my heart. Not from the bottom, all my heart. Comment down below. And any subject from being a leader that you want me to cover. And I'll just generally give you my feedback and my honest experience of 10 years of being a manager. In future videos, I will cover more in depth where I come from, etc., etc. But guys, thank you for your time. See you next time.